Well, howdy there, guys, and welcome into today's video. So we got to talk about the stock market. It's absolutely crazy. We got to talk about this election drama, everything that's going on with that. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing this video and I'm not too hyped out, I've been running a fever the last couple of days. So, I told you guys about that in the video last night. I posted on Financial Education 2. And so, yeah, I have no other symptoms. It's really weird. Like, I know a lot of people are like, do you have the Roni or something? I have literally no other symptoms other than I've been running a fever the last couple of days. So I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully I can get better in the next couple of days. But yeah, I don't really have the energy to put out a full scale, regular video like I usually do. I just don't have that energy, to be honest, with this whole fever thing and stuff. So, but I still want to talk about this market. I want to talk about this election. I want to talk about all this drama, because this is pretty crazy, guys. So Dow was up 367 points today. S&P 500 was up 2.2%. Main thing was NASDAQ was up almost 4% today. That's a massive move. Like, it's very rare you see the NASDAQ up almost 4% in a day, okay? That was a massive move there. And so just seeing the market up massive, specifically the NASDAQ, was quite surprising. And mainly because futures were up big. And when futures market was going, we thought a certain candidate was going to win. And then as today's progressed, it's looking more and more like another candidate's going to potentially win. And yet, despite all that, the market's up massive, specifically NASDAQ. Very interesting. Also very interesting, look at the Russell 2000. I mean, it was up, but it was barely up 0.05%. So the Russell 2000, a lot of the more smaller companies, clearly didn't perform very well today, especially if you're comparing against a NASDAQ, which was up 3.85%. And I mean, usually if you're investing in some of those smaller companies, you're investing in them because you hope for them to have better upside. And yet the big tech guys, the easy stocks, right, were the ones that were all up huge today. Look at VIX today, down 17%. So it just means like volatility, negative feelings around the market and things like that, like just massive day down for the VIX today, okay? So we're going to talk about all this, the market, individual stocks. We're going to talk about the election, all sorts of things in this video. So, by the way, if you haven't gotten a chance to get in Stock Hub, go ahead and do it. We got, almost 3,000 people online right now. And then if you want to apply for the private group, that's linked in the description. I think that's the first link. And as always, if you guys don't mind smashing that thumbs up, I do appreciate it, man. All right, guys, so let's start getting into this. So first off, big tech. Look at these stocks today. I mean, we're talking about, how much money has to come into these type of stocks to move them this big? Okay, we're talking about these are all like $1 trillion and up market caps. Okay, Amazon was up over 6% today. Microsoft was up almost 5% today. Google McDougal up 6% today. Snapple up over 4% today. Okay, those are massive moves. I mean, absolutely massive moves. You're talking about tens of billions of dollars likely have to come into these type of stocks to move them upward like this. There was clear, massive buying of big tech today. And that is just, to be quite frank, it's pretty dang surprising. And it makes stock market investing look pretty easy. Like, just buy the big dog. Just buy Amazon, buy Apple, buy Microsoft, buy Google McDougal, and make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I think about when I see all these big tech giants up a bunch more here today. Those are big moves, and that's why the NASDAQ was up almost, up almost 4% today. So huge moves there. We saw Facebook make a massive move up here today. I mean, look at that stock. It was up over 8%. In the public account, we were up over 8,000 on our Facebook position today. So that one was the best of the bunch. It outperformed everything. We saw Amazon up 6, Microsoft up about 5. Apple up 4, Google McDougal up 6, and the FB was up over 8%. Just a massive move. So congrats to all Facebook shareholders on a day like today. Well, anybody that holds really anything big tech-wise, you did really, really well. And it's interesting, right? It's very interesting that big tech so strong today, okay? Tesla doing whatever it wants to do. I've seen Tesla in the past where Tesla stocks, goes up massively on down days, and yet today, NASDAQ's up almost 4%, and Tesla decides to go down. Like, it's Tesla being Tesla. So it just want to finish out at 420. What can we say? It just want to finish out at 420. So interesting that Tesla did not share in the gains. But like I said, that's just Tesla being Tesla. Dramatic. So A couple other situations that were interesting today. The planet. So if you guys, I don't know how much you guys pay attention to this, but several states legalized last night. So it was on the ballot in a lot of different states. In a lot of states, it's legal now. And so that just increases the opportunity for Planet to expand to more locations over time and gives them more prospects out there. Because and that's not even the biggest part. Like that's great that more states are legalizing, and it gives more potential for Planet to look at other expansion opportunities in other states. But at the end of the day, the biggest reason I think this is huge is once we get to a place where we have far more states where it's completely legal, I'm talking 100%, I feel like once we reach critical mass, I feel like it's going to go through federal. And I think the federal process will be legalized. And that's massive for the planet, specifically because right now they can't ship their branded products over state lines right now. Now, when things are fully legalized, they will be allowed to make the product in Nevada here or wherever they have warehouses, distribution, things like that, and ship all over the place. Right now, for the most part, if you have a location here, you have to just stay within your state lines, okay? So if you're thinking about long-term opportunity with this company, which I'm obviously always thinking about that with that one, most stocks, but specifically this one, this is really, really good news. So I was surprised that it was only up, it underperformed the market today. Let's just put it that way. I'm sure some people might have baked that in, or also I think it's one of those stocks that's still a smaller market cap. It's only about $500 million. So I don't think it's a stock that a lot of Wall Street's looking at yet. I think if it was already a multi-billion-dollar market cap or something, I think a lot of hedge fund managers would have been buying this stock here today. But a lot of these fund managers, they can't really buy a stock like Planet. It's just too small for them to buy a stock like the Planet. So, so I mean, that was really good news. It was just really, for them in their space, like you need to see more and more states legalize. So then we had the Very company down today, and that's just not right. Like, I just don't think that stock should ever go down, ever. It should never have a down day. I'm thinking about potentially, seeing what I can do legally there, because that stock should just not be allowed to ever go down. It's just wrong. Just kidding. Uber, look at Uber today. So they got some good news. And look at the Uber McBoober. Oh my gosh. Uber Booba, up 14.5%. Congrats all Uber shareholders. I got out of that one, took my profit a while back. But I know a lot of people are still in that one. And congrats to all you guys that are still in Uber Booba stock, because that's a really nice gain today. I mean, if you got 100,000 in that stock, you just made $14,000 plus today. Like, what a day. So congrats to Uber shareholders. I think getting all this drama past them, I think things might still be challenged in the court of law around, their workers and independent contractors and making them employees and things like that. So don't expect this to completely end. But I will say things are looking much better for them than they were in the past. So that's really good news for Uber. And the main other thing that's obviously hurting Uber right now is just the fact that still a lot of people aren't traveling around. A lot of people still are not going to work in terms of a physical location, going to school and things like that. And so that's all still things that obviously very negatively affect Uber in the short term. So, but yeah, congrats to, all the shareholders out there. So election drama. I mean, my goodness, guys, this is dramatic, okay? I had to make sure I took screenshots of Fox News and CNN, so I got both the publications in here. First off, what I think is really interesting, my face is blocking it there, but Fox News has Biden actually up even more than Trump, because Fox News already called Arizona for Biden. It's very possible that Arizona will close Biden, but it's not for sure yet. So CNN hasn't called it yet. I just thought that was interesting. If anything, you would have thought CNN would have called that state early rather than Fox News, obviously, because, I mean, anybody that knows anything about those channels knows exactly what I'm talking about. But, I think it's really interesting. But this is pretty much going to come down to, I feel like it's going to come down to Nevada to a certain extent. I really thought Biden was going to win Pennsylvania. Now, I'm not so sure. I think there might be a higher probability Biden loses Pennsylvania than wins Pennsylvania. And originally, I really thought he was going to win that one. So if Arizona does, officially close out, Biden's at 264, and then, excuse me, if he closes out Nevada, he wins. So, but Nevada's really tight, really tight. And I think Nevada, we're going to find out within the next, I want to say 48 hours or so, who actually wins Nevada. So, I mean, it's a really tight race, guys. That's all I have to say about this. It is really, really tight. It was going into this, obviously, I thought Biden was going to win. I went on record. I said I thought, if I had to place a bet one way or another, I thought Biden was going to win. And then as of last night, I was looking and I was like, I might have to shave my head. Remember, I made the whole thing about I'm going to shave my head if I'm wrong and Trump wins, right? And so last night I was like, shoot, man, let me get the clippers ready, man. I might have to shave. And so now today, I would say it's a 50-50. I mean, it's like a coin flip. I don't know, who's going to pull this out, but it's really dang close. Like I said, I thought it was going to be Biden. Then last night it was looking more like Trump. Now, it's difficult. Georgia, North Carolina should close out for Trump. It's possible Biden could still pull this out. I think it's unlikely. So it looks like Georgia, North Carolina will close Trump, but Trump would still need, basically the other two, Pennsylvania and Nevada, to win the election overall. So, this is just a dramatic situation. I don't know what's going to happen here as far as, one, I don't know who's going to win. Right now it's literally just a coin flip because Nevada's so dang close. Pennsylvania, is crazy, obviously, but, it's a coin flip right now. But not just that, we don't know what's going to happen around. Is the election going to try to be contested, go through the courts? There's so much drama there. So, I don't know when we're going to for sure know who wins the election. It's possible within the next day or two. It's possible we have to wait weeks, or a month. I don't know I don't know what you can contest in this whole situation if you're trying to go to the court of law. But it's not a pretty situation. That's all I got to say as far as the whole drama in it. It's nice to just have an election and just be over with without all the drama in it. I mean, a lot of people are really just burnt out with this, to be quite frank. A lot of people just want this to be over and know which route we're going at the end of the day. And so, hopefully we get some sort of closure somewhat soon on this, because like I said, I just know a lot of people are just like, ugh, with the whole election process, the commercials, the debates, the attacks, it's just a lot of people are burnt out, man. And, I'm hoping for all my fellow Americans, they get some closure on whoever wins, hopefully soon. So, and, this is where the stock market comes up in this whole situation, because obviously the market was up massively today. And this is super surprising, because once Trump took the lead yesterday and it was starting to look really good for Trump, futures started booming. NASDAQ was up 2.5%, 3%. Everything was looking really, really good as far as futures went once Trump, started looking good in the election. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, obviously today, I don't want to say it's looking like Biden's going to win, but it's looking closer like Biden might win. And yet the market was still up huge. So it makes me think, are these traders, investors, Wall Street just playing around with stocks? Do they not even really care who wins? Because it was looking like Trump was going to win. Futures were up huge. Now it's looking probably a little more like Biden's going to win, and the market was up huge today. This is why I talk about things are so unpredictable in the stock market. If you're trying to gauge whether the stock market is going to go up or down or things like that in the short term, it is so dang unpredictable because we have two alternate situations, and yet the market went up regardless. Just very, very strange. But that's the stock market for you. A lot of times people want a reason every day why the stock market was up, down, things like that. And to be quite frank, a lot of times there just isn't a reason. And, I always have watched CNBC in the past. And, it's always funny. They'll try to, basically make for some reason around why the stock market was up today or down today. And I can understand, because if you got to talk about the stock market every day and for hours and hours, and you got a news channel, right? people are expecting you to give a reason to why the market was up or down that day. Well, to be quite frank, the majority of days in the stock market's up or down for literally no reason. Like literally no reason. I don't know what else to tell you other than that. There are some days where something big does happen out of nowhere and it does affect the stock market very negatively or positively. That is not most days. That is very few and far between. And that's just the honest truth with that, okay? So, yeah, stock market craziness, just absolute craziness, okay? And with all the drama, you would have thought today might have been down. With all this drama. As for me, I didn't do any buys or any moves today. Didn't do any buys or sells. I have cash fully ready. If the market dips in any major way, falls a bunch, I will gladly be a buyer. I am 100% ready to buy if we get any type of deals out there. So, but yeah, I didn't make any moves, specifically today in any of my accounts. And last thing I'll say is count the votes, man. Whoever wins this election wins this election, whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden. Like, I just want to see somebody win this dang thing. There was huge voter turnout. People can say whatever they want about Trump, bad, good, whatever. But the fact is, Trump got massive amounts of people to come out to the polls and to vote. And I think that's huge. I really do. So, whether Trump wins this election or loses this election, I think part of his legacy should be that he got massive voter turnout. Because there's no doubt about it. Because people are either really, really excited to give him another 4 years or really, really excited to get him out of office. So, the voter turnout was epic this year. In a Rona, a once in 100-year health event that you would think naturally voting would be down, right? And the voter turnout this year is epic, okay? And so the one thing I want to see is I want to see all the votes counted at the end of the day. Like I said, whoever wins, wins. But I don't want the people, to feel like in the future for elections, their vote might not be counted. Like a candidate could just say, stop counting the votes and their votes won't be counted, because I think we finally have people to care about this stuff a little bit. Let's just put it that way. And to all of a sudden, potentially turn off people and say, we're not going to count your votes or something like that, that would be a really bad thing. And I don't even want people thinking for a second, oh, my vote doesn't count. If I vote, they're probably not even going to count it or something like that. Just if people even are going to have that partly in their mental, it's just bad. And imagine all the people that can't vote yet because they're too young. If they see just a bunch of votes not counted, essentially, they're just going to be like, oh, wow. Why am I going to ever care to vote? My vote's not going to be counted anyways. So count all the votes. Whoever wins, wins. The world's watching. The world's watching this election. I could tell you, in Stock Hub, I have the election 2020 chat, and it's been crazy last couple of days. I just have it going for this weekend there just because I want everybody, have a place to be able to chat about, this whole election and whatnot. And I can tell you probably half the people that are chatting in there are not even Americans. They're not even Americans. And they're all watching this election. They're all super interested. The whole world's watching this. And in a lot of places in the world, they don't even have democracy. You know what I mean? They don't even really have elections, or, some of these places are run by dictators who can just shut off the votes whenever they want, or if the vote doesn't go their way, they just eliminate the other person or whatever. And so I feel like, here in the USA, we kind of got to be the leader when it comes to just an election and making sure everybody's votes counted, and whoever wins the election, and the other side just has to deal with it. If Trump wins, Democrats just have to deal with it. If Biden wins, Republicans just have to deal with it. It is what it is. We will make it through, regardless of whoever wins, and that's just the bottom line with that. So, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this as always. Don't forget, if you want to check out Stock Hub, go ahead and do it. If you want to apply for the private group, learn all my strategies inside and out, you can do that. If you guys don't mind, smash the thumbs up for me. Maybe it'll make me feel better. Anyways, guys, have a great day. Peace. Hopefully I can get you some more proper content, excited content soon. Have a good day, guys.